Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Genuine Podcast. I hope you are doing well. I just had dinner, so I'm really full right now. I had Costco pizza and a hot dog. So, uh, that's how I'm doing right now. So, like I said, I'm very full. But for this podcast, we're talking about 4th of July. And when this comes out, 4th of July would have already passed, but in our time, it's gonna happen. I think literally tomorrow. So let's just get into the podcast. So Jerry, how are you?
Yo, what's up, peeps? Doing pretty good. Today's been pretty good so far, and yeah, just excited to get on into it.
Then let's get on into it. So let's start with our report card. So Jerry, you could start with yours first.
Sounds Gucci. Okay, so firstly, mental health. Gonna give myself honestly, like an A. Yeah, just an A. Everything's going well. Just a lot less stressed. Been taking care of all the things I've had to do. And yeah, I've just been feeling great. Physically, gonna give myself a B. Haven't been. I mean, I've been going to a gym, but kind of the motivation's kind of been struggling a bit. I think I need to find like a new something to work towards. But yeah, motivation's not the best, but I'm still going, and so I'm gonna give myself a B. So that's my report card. And what's yours looking like today, Bianca?
Okay. Pretty good report card. Overall, I think right now, mentally, I would probably say I'm at maybe like a B. Just because I have just a lot of things going on, like a lot of things I have to think about because right now we're in July, the beginning of July, and I go back to school next month, and I'm like, man, like this month is probably gonna go by so fast. So I'm trying to get more in the mindset of like, okay, I only have like a little bit of time left, so I need to figure out what I gotta figure out. A lot of my hula performances start basically like this month and next month, so I have to think about that and just like really getting down to like organizing my schedule now. Um yeah, so that's why I would say I'm at a B mentally. Like I'm doing better from last week. Just getting into a routine, just trying to I don't know, kind of use my brain a little bit more cuz like it's nice, like it's break right now and I just don't have like too many obligations, but I want to start like I guess prepping for when I go back to school. I know that was such like a really long explanation. Physically, I'm probably still at like a C. I mean, I just have to be more consistent. I have like a similar issue with you. It's like I just don't really have motivation right now, so I'm trying to like contact friends and be like, "Hey, let's go to the gym," because I know if I go with someone, then I'm not gonna cancel on them. I'm not gonna flake. So that's my strategy for making sure like I have motivation to go. Um but anyway, so those are report cards. So let's just get into the podcast right away. So for our first question, what did your 4th of July look like growing up?
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do a little switcheroo. I want to hear yours. How was your Fourth of July growing up?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of typical for Hispanics, or I don't even know, just for Hispanics, but I would just always go over to like my tia's house and they would barbecue and they'd be setting off fireworks in their neighborhood, and that was really it. I mean, that's all I could remember from like when I was a child. So nothing really crazy. What about you?
Yeah, mine's not that extravagant either. Same thing, I guess. Except I would do it with here in my household, and yeah, sometimes we'd buy fireworks. Nothing too crazy. I think yeah, they'd probably cook and. Yeah, that's kind of all it was. But honestly, I think it was always the neighbors that put on the best shows. So after we popped our lame fireworks, we'd go watch their shows, and it'd be so much cooler. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, right on. Shout out to your neighbors for having good fireworks shows.
Indeed.
For our next question, how do you view 4th of July? Is it more family time, entertainment, or celebration of independence?
For me personally, it's really always been fireworks. I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah, I've really, I never really, I know it's like a family gathering event, and a lot of people also, the independence thing, but in my mind, all my life, it's always just been, hey, cool fireworks. And honestly, like, 4th of July has always been one of my favorite holidays for that reason. I just love fireworks. So yeah, that's how I view it. But what about you?
I personally view it just as like family time. I mean, that's when I tend to like go to like relatives' house, or if we do have it at our household. As I've gotten older, we kind of stopped going to relatives or like someone else's house, and now we just do our own thing and barbecue and like maybe have um like just a tiny bit of our relatives come over. Um, but yeah, I mean, the independence thing, like, I know that's like the whole point of it, but I guess I don't really think about that too much if I'm being honest. And as far as like entertainment, I mean, it's cool to like watch them at night, but I think mostly, yeah, I just see it as like spending time with my family and everything.
Interesting. Yeah, dude. I feel like I don't know. I think maybe a lot of people. I just don't know how many people are really, I guess, patriotic about it. At least some of my friends that I've met are. So I wonder, like, different people view 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean, earlier today, or not today, it was yesterday, that I was going to Dodgers Stadium and we passed by this house, and I kid you not, there was like the biggest flag that I have ever seen in someone's house. Like it covered like basically their whole house. Like it was ginormous, and I was like, wow, they must really love America. So, or I guess they're more like patriotic about it.
Yeah, go to dude. Shout out them.
Yeah, shout out them. For our next question, what is the most memorable 4th of July that you have had?
For mine, it was actually this one time, me, my tia, and my little cousin, we drove out to Arizona, to, I guess, their cousins or family. And yeah, we just kicked it with them. We saw like a fireworks show, and it wasn't like anything crazy. It was, I have a pretty hot take on fireworks shows, but yeah, what made it memorable though is just like it's different. It's not just going to your front lawn and just watching the fireworks. No, it's like we're driving out, doing something cool, something out of the ordinary. So that's for me what makes it memorable. And yeah, so that's mine. Do you have something like that?
Mine was when I think I was like 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in my teens. I went to a friend's house and she had like just basically like a 4th of July party thing. And I remember I don't know if we used like water guns or if we had like water balloons, but I just remember like we would like shoot each other. We'd be like, throwing water balloons in her backyard from people on my swim team. And then I think we would do like just dance. And then, of course, like we would go out in the front, we'd see the fireworks. And in her neighborhood, they would have like basically like a little neighborhood parade. So that was also something cool because my neighborhood doesn't do that personally. So it was cool to just see like the whole neighborhood come together and, they're just all having a good time. So that's probably my most memorable one. I think I remember, well, if I remember correctly, that she did that twice where she had like a 4th of July party. So it was always like those are really fun. I remember I had a t-shirt that I kind of like cut up and I was like spray painting like the American flag, and I was like um what's it called? I guess I was like designing the whole shirt and like making different patterns on it. And yeah, so I was I don't know why I was so into that when I was younger, but yeah, so that's probably my most memorable 4th of July.
Damn, dude. I mean, that sounds super fire. Where, like, did they have that parade twice? You said you did that twice. Did they have the parade again?
Yeah, I think it's just like, an annual thing that they do. So that was really cool. Like when I'm older, I honestly would kind of love to have like a neighborhood or be in a neighborhood who does like little parades and stuff like that.
What neighborhood or like city was that?
It was in La Habra, I believe.
Okay, interesting. Dang, yeah, I've never heard of that, dude. That must be pretty poppin'. So shout out your friend and her neighborhood. But yeah, it's cool, man. Pretty sounds fun.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I thought it was just like a one time thing. And then the next year when she had it again, they were still doing it. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is just like an annual thing that the neighborhood does. And seeing people like just deck out like their houses or like they're all dressed up. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
I want to live there.
I want a neighborhood like that. But moving on to our next question, I guess going to your what you said about your hot take about fireworks, do you think they're overrated or iconic?
They are absolutely iconic. They're what brings a smile to my face every Fourth of July. I don't know. I can't think of a lame thing to say, but yeah, I think they're super iconic. I'm just super biased though because I just really like fireworks, and I don't really know how you could think they're overrated. I mean, they're basically little bombs you're detonating, so it's pretty cool to me. What do you think?
I'm gonna say I think they're overrated depending on where you live because I remember there was a time where I was dating a guy and he lived in East LA and he said it just sounded like a battlefield, like they're just going off all the time and it just I don't know, I feel like that would seem a little bit annoying to hear it like literally the whole day and the whole night. But also I say that too because like times are changing as like technology is getting more advanced and I've seen like now, there's shows where they do it with like drones and stuff like that. So I think those are pretty cool. Also, I think that's just like better for our environment as well. Um but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of fireworks. I mean, they look cool, they look nice, but yeah, I am like slightly a little bit scared of them sometimes.
Dude, you're such a hater, dude. Not to sound like a weirdo, but like honestly, the like the crazy booms, the shaking of everything, like when a crazy one goes off, I love that. Like that's why, like every Fourth of July or whenever even late June hits, and everyone's already like detonating fireworks in the neighborhood. Like I love it. And then when the actual day hits, everyone around the block is detonating. You just hear booms all the time, like the whistle ones. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I personally, I loved like that battlefield kind of sound. So yeah, but I mean, regarding the drones, do you mean like drones acting as fireworks or entertainment, like lights? I think I've heard of it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean they could create like obviously like images of like a firework basically like going off or like images of like just other things in the sky. So I feel like those are also like pretty cool. But going back to like the firework part, maybe I've just like never been to like a really good like fireworks show. I know like at Disneyland they always have them. But I've never seen those, so I feel like those are also something that's like pretty iconic, specifically here where we live. Um, but yeah, I think I just haven't seen maybe iconic fireworks.
Tough, bro. Well, I hope soon you see something that'll change your mind.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll go to EDC next year and I'll see all the fireworks that happen there or
They
Disneyland.
pop fireworks there?
Yeah, they do. Like it that is like a very iconic thing for specifically EDC is that they always have like this crazy like fireworks. Everybody calls it that they're under the electric sky. So, I guess meaning like all the fireworks and how pretty it looks and of course like all the EDM and all the vibes in the air. So, yeah, they are pretty iconic.
Okay, fire, dude. Fire. Good to know.
For our next question, would you prefer a fireworks show or just a stay-at-home celebration?
All right. So, for me, my stay at home is the fireworks show. I think real fireworks shows, like, I've never seen the Disney one, so I don't even know if that's any good. But whenever I've gone to, like, you go to a park and just watch them, it's always super bland. It's just the ones that shoot up in the sky. They go kaboom and make a little circle. Um, but it's just not exciting, and then you don't really feel the boom. You don't really hear how loud they are and the flashes. I don't know. They're just like watered down. In my neighborhood, it's everything up close. You're even worried if like a firework's gonna hit you, and I just think it makes the experience a lot better. So yeah, long story short, at home is the best way to go. And I'm guessing you're gonna say fireworks show.
Honestly, I don't know. I think I would just say at home, but I would say fireworks show if I only knew or they had like really, really good fireworks. So I guess as of right now, I would just say at home, but I'm gonna go off like topic a little bit because I think a while ago, I don't know where, I think I just saw you on my For You page on Instagram, but I think like somewhere in Mexico, like it's a really common thing where I don't think obviously it's not during like the 4th of July. I don't know like when, but they have like certain nights, I guess, where they just like yeah, they just put off fireworks like in the neighborhood, but they like kind of like spin around throughout like the whole I don't know. I guess they do it like out in the open, like where everybody is, and everybody just kind of like runs through. And obviously, you try not to get hit, but I guess that's like kind of the fun of it. Or have you heard about that?
That's so wild. Honestly, I thought you were gonna bring up something else. But no, I've never actually heard about that. That sounds legendary.
Yeah, I think they just like those are just like random nights that they have, or I don't know like what specific time of the year like that is, but I just remember seeing that and it just kind of made me think of that right now when we were talking about the fireworks show. I think it's like a tradition of some sort, but honestly, I don't know what it is. I could be so wrong. It might not even be Mexico, but I'm pretty sure it's something uh with Hispanics, you know?
Yeah, I'll ask around. I'll ask ChatGPT and I'll see if that's real. Um, what I thought you were gonna bring up though was during New Year's, and this might just be in like the area I live in or like the state or not that I live in, but where my family's from. And but yeah, over there in Mexico, where my family's from, on New Year's, I guess everyone whips out their guns and just shoots them in the air. So it's not just fireworks, but you're getting like actual just bullets in the air. And yeah, I found out about that like the last time I went, and I'm like, what? That's wild, dude. Like, how are people not dying all the time? But yeah, pretty crazy traditions.
You know what? Actually, now that you said New Year's, I think it is like a New Year's thing. I don't know specifically like where. I don't even know if it's exactly Mexico, but I think somewhere out in Mexico they do that. But going back to what you just said right now, where are your parents from that they do that?
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure like which is first, the city or the state, but I think the city is Tepic and the state is Nayarit. So that's where my family's from. Both my mom and my grandma. It's kind of crazy, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, right on. That's I would not be going there if they were doing
What?
that.
Yeah.
A little scary, but moving on, have you ever had a 4th of July go totally wrong? What happened?
For me, not really. There's just this one goofy instance where me, my cousin, and her friend had like a random firework laying around, and we decided to light it. And it was one of the ones that like shoots in the air and then goes and blows up. And but we lit it and it didn't end up going up, so it just blew up on the floor. And it was pretty crazy, man. Like it was a pretty. I didn't think we'd get injured, but you never know. So I mean, it's pretty dangerous when that happens. So, but yeah, I guess that counts. What about you?
Okay, before I start, I thought it was crazy that you said it was one of those fireworks that shoot up and they blow up in the air because I think that's a lot of fireworks. But
No, dude, you don't know about like fountains? There's fountains. There's like the little spinny ones. There's all kinds of different fireworks.
I know, but I guess like in general, like most of them just kind of go up in the air.
Lies, lies, lies.
Anyways, okay, so this is gonna reveal like my general thoughts about the 4th of July because I have had a very I guess traumatic 4th of July one time when I was younger. So, like I said, my family and I would usually go over to like my tia's house and they'd barbecue everything, all my cousins be running around. And then I just remember there was one year, I feel like they probably had to do this multiple years, but they set off fireworks in their backyard. And I remember there was one firework they're setting off and then it tips over and one of my tios was like, "Everybody run!" And so everybody's like running to hide. And obviously, that thing explodes in the backyard. And I remember one of my cousins, she got burned, like part of her hair got cinched off. And I remember, like, they were putting like something on her head and she was crying. And I remember that. And one of my tios, like, his hand got burned. And then this wasn't like crazy on my end, but like part of my feet got burned. Like I had sparks that landed on my feet and I had one like singular spark hit my face. So I had like a patch on my face for a bit. I mean, I don't have any more. It healed a while ago, of course, but for a while I had just like this white patch like on my face. It was on my cheek and yeah, I was just like really traumatized during that time because I was like, oh my God, like obviously, like you said, like it could be super dangerous. Yeah, so like a few of my relatives, they got hurt. I got, burned. So yeah, that's why I'm slightly afraid of, fireworks and just like kind of 4th of July in general because, we were we were fine and then it just, it could take one firework that's just like falls over or, people are being stupid and yeah, and then people could get hurt.
Yeah, dude. I honestly I forgot you told me that story a long time ago. Um, and yeah, I guess that's fair enough. And as for your cousin though, did her hair ever recover?
Um, yeah, it did, but I mean, of course, like at the time, like it probably like had to obviously like really burn, and of course, like she might have probably gotten bullied that like some of her hair was gone, but yeah, so unfortunately, that did happen to one of my cousins.
Yeah. That's pretty tough, bro. I did want to briefly mention though, like you were saying though, with like I guess in an instant, you're all good and then things can just go wrong. I feel like every 4th of July, I always think about like somewhere out there in a city nearby, like someone probably got hit with the firework. Like, I don't know. I always think about like the morbid side of it too. And a lot of like, I guess firework related injuries go down. I've heard about like firework warehouses where a fire happens and then all of them light and then there's still people in there. Like there all sorts of crazy stuff happen with fireworks. They are like what is it, like TNT? So I mean, yeah, I mean really is dangerous stuff, but I like to stay happy about it. I mean, like I think fireworks are just cool, but everything has a dangerous side.
Yeah, at my house in particular, we don't really set off fireworks like that. I remember when I was younger though, my dad has this like mini cannon and of course like it shoots like actual like fireworks and bombs and whatnot. But for the most part, we don't really do anything at my house. I mean, we'll just like go outside and maybe like see our neighbors like set off things, but no one really like sets off like crazy things and whatnot or having like a show basically outside their house. Um yeah, like the most I'll do is probably I think they're just called like poppers, like those things you throw on the floor and then they just kind of like boop, like they just kind of like explode. But it's nothing crazy.
Bro, bro. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, well, I'm traumatized. I remember last year my sister, she got I don't know the name of like any of the specific type of fireworks. But it was just one that it just kind of sits there and it doesn't go up in the air. It just kind of like sparks and it's just like I guess it's kind of all it does really.
Like I think they're called fountains, where it's kind of like yeah, it just kind of shoots like sparks and flame, like yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, we don't.
Cool.
I think she
But
also got
you,
sparklers, but I don't really like sparklers either.
what? Because you're worried it's gonna burn your hand?
Yeah, I'm just scared of like ever getting burned in general, period. Yeah, I'm very traumatized from when I was a kid.
Dang, dude. Well, I hope go to therapy or something. Next.
Whatever. Okay. For our next question, well, this is actually our last question for the podcast. What's one food that has to be at the 4th of July barbecue?
Easy. I not only have one food, but three. Going up top, obviously carne asada, gotta have it. Number two, gotta get a little patriotic, so hot dogs. And number three, burgers. That's my little list. What's yours looking like?
Mine is literally the same, but probably minus the hot dogs. I'd rather have a burger over a hot dog. But of course, the carne asada's got to be there. Um, of course, maybe some like horchata or what else? I guess that's kind of it, really. Those are my foods.
I've never I've never had a horchata like 4th of July. I guess I associate 4th of July with like my family drinking. Um, so I'd say like a bunch of beer, but I don't do that personally. I would just drink like Dr. Pepper. So yeah. Oh, you know what? Final thing for me. Every 4th of July, my granny would buy like, those sugar cookies. You know those?
Are they like in a pink box or no?
Yeah, they are in a box and they're like really soft and they have like a little thing up top, like the flavor. My family just calls them sugar cookies, so I don't know what other people call them, but yeah, I guess that's also like something I would expect at a 4th of July thing, like those cookies specifically. So yeah,
Okay, I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about because you said they have like a thing at the top, but when I think of like sugar cookies, I'm thinking of like there's some, I guess specifically like I think of like Christmas time. They come in like a tin. So I don't know if it's like a box or a tin specifically, but maybe I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
yeah, I don't think you do. I don't think it's a tin. It's more like a plastic box thing where they're just like stacked up against each other. Not really like fancy. Oh well, maybe I'll show you one day.
Yeah, you'll have to show me one day. But okay, you guys, so that is the end of the podcast. I hope that you guys had a wonderful 4th of July and that you all were safe and that you know, generally that you were safe. That's all I can say. I remember actually before I end it, I remember when I used to swim specifically, I would be swimming in the morning of 4th of July. And my coach, he would always say, if you guys are like going out, or you're going to go drinking or whatever, just make sure that you're safe. Make sure that you Uber home. Don't stay out too late. He would just always just emphasize to us that, just be careful, because there's a lot of things that go on. Of course, like during the holidays or especially something like the 4th of July. Yeah, just wanted to add that last little story because that's also something else that makes me think of the 4th of July. But okay, we're going to get into our weekly win. So, Jerry, what is your weekly win?
So my weekly win is that um yeah, it's that I basically, even though I did it super last minute, I got my college classes covered. I got like a schedule that worked out for me, and yeah, I'm just super thrilled that everything worked out in the end. I like to live by that mentality, like everything will work out, and you know that's how it worked. Everything worked out, and I'm just really happy about it. So that's my weekly win. What's yours, Bianca?
Okay, I like that. I like that little mentality that everything will work out. But for me, my weekly win, I probably have two things. I'm almost done with my Ikigai book, so I pretty much have one more chapter left. So I'm probably going to finish it tonight, actually. So I guess like I'm kind of celebrating early, but yeah, the book has really changed my life. I love it so much. I recommend you know, I think it is just called Ikigai, and then it just says the Japanese secret to living a long and happy life. So I recommend that. It's like a blue cover with like I think they're like cherry blossoms. Um that and also I was contacted by Jubilee again. Well, I guess like it specifically it'll be on Nectar. But I'm going to be on another Jubilee episode, so that's exciting. It's always fun to be going back on there and just having a good time, meeting new people, seeing the directors again, or like the photographer, the producers, and whatnot. So yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Exciting stuff, brother. Congrats.
Yeah, super exciting. But okay, now for our last segment, we are going to go into appreciation time. So, Jerry, what is something that you're grateful for or appreciative that has happened to you this week?
So it kind of relates back to the college stuff at my new school, and I'm just grateful to my. I guess he's like my what do I even call him? Like my walking mentor. Like anyway, the point is he's helping me figure out like how I'm gonna get to campus because I don't exactly have a straight ride there. So this guy who I work with, he's helping me like figure out the route, what buses, how we're gonna. He's showing me around campus and like where my classes are, and yeah, he's been very flexible and we've we've been working more than we usually do because it's school's coming up, so I have to be ready. So I'm just grateful for him for making the time and for helping me out. So yeah, that's mine. What about you?
Oh, that's really sweet. I'm glad that you're getting that all sorted out and that someone's able to help you. For me personally, what I am grateful or appreciative is this week is probably honestly my Ikigai book. Like I said, it's kind of helped change me and it's making me realize some things that I should really take into consideration a little more because I'm towards the end. So basically the ending right now is talking about the author went to I think it's Ikonawa. I'm probably saying the city wrong in Japan, but it's a town there where people are living the longest in the world. And at the time when that book came out, the youngest person was 83, and basically he's going in interviewing everybody in this town and asking them, like why do they think that they've lived so long, or what's the secret basically. Um and it really stresses to make sure that you're always moving your body. Like you don't necessarily have to like work out per se, like lift weights and stuff like that. Eat your vegetables. It really stressed that out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not great with eating my vegetables. Like I have to marinate them a certain way. I can't just like eat them plain like that or like steamed for the most part. It also talked about just living kind of like what you said earlier, just like don't be stressing out too much. Everything's going to work out and just, try not to worry so much about, you know, certain things. Sorry, I'm like going through the book right now. I know you could probably like hear me going through the pages. But I just like want to touch on certain things because I think it's super important. Like I probably will make a podcast episode about it because that's how much I really love the book. Um, yeah, so those are pretty much like the most important things is make sure you just move your body, you eat your vegetables, also like stay connected with like a community, whether if that's like your friends or your family. So yeah, those are like the most important things I would say. And it's just really, I don't know, it's helped me out a lot.
Well, freaking shout out that book, dude. Shout out the good messages. I think I've always said physical fitness. Staying active, not letting your body crumble. I think it's so important. And I guess veggies. I guess so. And yeah, being stress free. That sounds super valid. So yeah, shout out that book, dude. Hopefully, it really does help you out with life and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely has so far. Like this book is literally it's so dicked out with like like it looks like I'm gonna take an exam on it. For anybody who is watching, this is what the book looks like. To anybody who's just listening to this on Spotify, again, it's just Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. So yeah, super grateful for this book. But anyways, we are now officially done with the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Jerry, is there anything that you would like to tell everyone?
Yeah. So yeah, shout out everyone. Happy 4th of July. Go pop some fireworks. Don't blow up your hands and eat your veggies. Peace out.
Okay, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and also I second everything that Jerry said. If you're gonna put off some fireworks, just be careful, be safe. Also, no drinking and driving. Just Uber or have a DD, of course. And yeah, happy 4th of July. I hope you guys, well, when you watch this, the 4th of July would have already happened, but I guess, me right now talking right now in my present. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July, and I hope you have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.